The G20 Finance and Central Bank Deputies meeting starts today. SABC News economics editor Tshepo Mongoai is in Sandton following this particular aspect of the meeting for us. Good morning, Tshepo. And of course, the financial side of things, very, very important, especially as, of course, South Africa also tries to assert on its own behalf and behalf of the global South, perhaps, what these countries would like to see.
Yes, good morning to the viewers. You're absolutely right, Sakina. South Africa's role, it's seen as more of bringing in the broader nations of the South in terms of interest and challenges that they are facing. So, of course, one of the line that's quite outstanding in this particular G20 is that of inclusivity. But let's remind you again in terms of the G20, particularly the meeting today of the Deputy Finance Ministers and Central Bank. You'll recall that, in fact, the G20 was formed as a forum originally of central bank governors as well as finance ministers, and of course to ensure that there is some synergy in dealing with some of the issues that are facing the economy globally. And of course, as you remember, the 2008 financial crisis accelerated the work of the G20 as they had to sit down and find a way to put out the fire because of the mortgage assets that we've seen in the US that resulted in banks not trusting each other during that 2008 financial crisis, where we've seen that confidence in the financial sector was being eroded. They had to come up with some fiscal stimulus in order to ensure that there is more activity in the capital markets. They had to ease monetary policy so that there can be more, there's a resumption of lending in the financial markets. And of course, but that action came with some also controversy that the work of the G20 in dealing with the 2008 financial crisis focused largely on big institutions and people who lost their houses, who were really struggling at the time because of the crisis, were not given much support during that particular time. And of course, one of the also important issue is the issue of the debt, especially that is facing emerging and poor countries. They came up with the common framework for debt that was also quite important in ensuring that there is synergy in terms of how debt relief is negotiated. There are guidelines that can actually ensure that they guides various countries who are looking to restructure their debt or perhaps want the debt to be cancelled in some instances. We've seen countries such as Ghana, Zambia taking advantage of that common framework in order to ensure that they benefit as they are facing unsustainable debt.